I apologize if this is going to be a little formalish because this is my first presentation in front of teachers, and many of you guys are literally the teachers who talk manage their service here. Let me tell you the sneaky way that I got caught for this presentation. First of all, Sir Kunalji was talking to me, having a chat while I was working, and he said, you know what, we're going to have this this workshop all day. What do you think about this? I said, it's a fantastic idea. Why did you say this? Why did you see that? And in the meantime, he said, you know what, that's a good idea. Why don't you say this in front of the teachers? And I was like, my heart started palpitating there only because I can handle 200 students, but handling teachers is a very different thing. And then he told me the title of it. He said, Teachers' Role in Changing the Mindset of Students. And I was worried. I don't know. I myself am learning how to change the mindset of students. And I said, what do I do? How do I present this to the teachers? So what do? I started typing because that's my default way of thinking. I start typing on either a Word document or a PPT, and I started putting all the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Yeah. So who am I? I am Barreto, got that? Faculty of Department of English, and I have no idea why I'm here. Honestly speaking, really. I really don't see what he sees in me that I can share with you. But since he did catch me, I said, chalo, let's see what I'm good at. Chalo's good. Chalo's good. So let me tell you who I deal with. I deal with teenagers, first years to third years, okay? 17 to 21-year-olds. How do I change the attitude of students? It's a difficult job. I throw my hands up in the air, I say I can't. I admit to myself at the start of the year, I cannot change the attitude of students. Why? Simply put, set structures, ideas are already formed in the head. These guys walk into first year thinking that they know the whole world and they know how it works. Right? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah.
Better. So these guys come to college saying that, you know, sir, I know everything. You don't need to tell me. So I don't tell them anything. But let me tell you where I deal with these guys. Okay. As part of the Department of English, I handle around 9 events every year. I put them down. Internal department activities are Alpha, Omega, Farewell, Bonding Camp, Creative Writing Workshops. Roughly 250 students are there in the mix. Inter-department activities where science students, MA students and all come for competitions. I handle around 100 students over there. Inter-school higher secondary competitions that we organize this department is the Bar by the Mandavi. There are around 250 students I deal with. And inter-college activities, Pegasus, and the 500 over 2 days, so I've got that many footfalls in this area itself. And I'm dealing with students literally every day of my life. And I don't change their mindsets. I just try doing something. This is what I try doing. One, I give them responsibility. I promise them a couple of things at the start of the year. I tell them, if you join the Department of English, if you join me in conducting these activities, I promise you one thing, you are going to enjoy your year, but you're going to have to show some responsibility. Couple of things that I promote: reduce and reuse. Recycling is out of the picture. I do not even know how to recycle, honestly. I thought I was recycling things until somebody came and broke that bubble. Alright, said, oh, you're not recycling. I said, okay, fine, what am I doing? He said, you're reducing and you're reusing. I said, well, fine, chalo, I'm going to do that. Right? And third thing that I do, I told you, I don't teach them because I say I can't, but I do model. In the sense that whatever I wish for them to do, I do it myself. So when it comes to responsibility, I give the students a lot of responsibility because it allows them to make mistakes. One of the things that I learned as a student was in this college itself and in Loyola's, I was a student of Loyola's, was that you learn through mistakes, right? So I give them a lot of responsibility when it comes to organizing events. So there are that many events, I need people to organize it. So I tell my students, it's your responsibility to organize it, right? I tell them to delegate work. I tell them that it's a matter of pride. I instill a lot of pride in these students, saying that, you know what, it's your baby. This event is your baby tomorrow. They don't look at me, they look at you. You know, those guys are the organizers of the event, right? And then I tell them that using any space, whether it's within the college or without, that it's outside the college, is a privilege. It is not your entitlement, it's not your God-given this thing, I'm paying taxes, my father's paying taxes, therefore I can do whatever I want. No, it's a privilege, right? So I had one quote that I had come out with 4-5 years ago. By the way, I'm a junior here. It's been 6 years since I've been teaching, therefore I'm a little nervous, by the way. I tell them, leave an area the way you found it. Or even better, I say, leave an area in better shape than you found it. Nobody, I tell them, nobody should come out and say, you know what, your student, they shouldn't come to me and say, your students left that area messy. I'll say, I will hang my head in shame. And I ask them, do you want me to do that? Because I will do that. I will apologize profusely and hang my head in shame. And that's when the students tell me, no sir, I don't want it to be done. So we will take care of things. So here are a couple of pictures. This is way back in 2008 on top. We used a classroom to, when you're having events, you are having a lot of things done. She's cutting out little stickers to be put on the trophies. That generates a lot of dirt. It generates a lot of dirt, right? I have a broom that I bought this year again because the first one got worn out. It cost 50 rupees only. And I don't tell them to do anything. I just pick my broom up and I start sweeping. When they see me sweep, one nice thing happens. First time I remember when I picked up the broom and I started swimming, they looked at me they were just so surprised. They looked and said, sir, what are you doing? I said, I'm sweeping. I said, why? Because we need to clean this area. They're like, why? Want the sweepers clean it? I said, yeah, but we generated this dirt here. I think we have a responsibility of cleaning it up. That's when one of them said, sir, let me pick it up. Sharvari here, by the way, is a mother now. Mother of a 2-year-old girl. Akshata there on top is a teacher in Dempes. She teaches English literature there. Alia, you can see her head, she teaches in Rosaries. I believe that this small thing, maybe they are taking wherever they go. So what do? Just like Dr. Bakshi said, I tell them that wherever we go, whenever we go, clean the place before we leave it, right? During picnics, we carry bags, like he said, he carries bags, I carry boxes. I think boxes are far easier to empty, right? During events, because we have so many events, one of the things that are there in the judges' criteria, and I tell this to the students, is keep your area clean. So hopefully the students who come in to compete in many of these events say, you know what, at least I learned how to keep an area clean. And I always believe in this, you can't tell them anything, you need to show them, right? They will not do something until you go and do it. I remember that I was a part of NSS one year, and a couple of years ago, 2011 if I remember correctly, was the Chaka Chak campaign, which started up in Panjim down here in this thing, and I had taken all my NSS students to clean up Kolwa and Betalbati and all these areas. And one of the first questions when I was talking to them like here, I was saying, you know what, we need to go and clean this area. But the first question said, sir, are you going to clean with us? I said, yes, I am. It's only when we show them that they will follow us. Okay, because we have a lot of events, I use this concept of reduce and reuse. I tell my students to use their creativity and imagination to kind of utilize things around them. Right? One of the things that I faced when I walked into Chole College was a certain attitude that certain students had, not all. They said, sir, we're paying a lot of money now, let's buy something. I said, I might give you 2 lakh rupees, it still won't be enough to buy the things that you would want. Why not come up with creative things in the least possible amount of money by reusing stuff which is around you. Right? Here's an example. This is a flower made out of corn leaves, bhutta. This was given to each of the teachers this year when we had an event. Yes, it's a little like a show and tell today. I need to find that one. This is an invite that has been written on a leaf which they found outside, they cured it. This is a leaf that they gave to me. It was inviting the students for their inaugural or their freshers party. We didn't use paper. And this is something that I keep on telling them, let's not waste more things that are there, right? If you look down, whenever the students, competitors, participants come from various schools, colleges, we give them badges that is made out of recycled paper. These are old certificates, right? What do? They take 2 certificates and they stick it together, then they paint and they cut out badges and they make badges out of this, right? If you can see on top, this is the gift items we gave to our students for their farewell. The letters are made out of clay, earth, right? And those things where we fixed our photographs are just this. We stuck 2 things and then we stuck their photographs on it, right? Down here, our principal is getting that little flower that I showed you. This is a gift item we have made for the participating teachers of the Bar by the Mandavi this year. It's there on top here. If you notice this, it is that, I don't know what to call it, but the students came up with the idea because they wanted to put an eggshell. By the way, that's an eggshell. Okay, so people were eating a lot of eggs on those days because they needed to make a lot of these things. So around 35 eggs they had to eat over a period of 5-6 days. A lot of students contributed to this, we have to thank them for that. But they rested this little egg on this, I don't know how to tell you this, but apparently the hair of the corn cob, right, the little hairy part of it, so they removed that and then they painted that and then they put it at the bottom. And what you can see, the ribbons and all are donated by students, leftover ribbons from home. Okay? So I try to encourage this. If you notice this, what they are doing here, they painted this one-on-one competition for our students, where they had to come up with designs for the covers of books. And if you notice this is actually the old certificates of our college. One day I went to the godown and I realized that they were going to dump all this. Is a big stack of certificates, hardbound, hard certificates. And they were going to dump them, and I asked them, what are you going to do with it? And to dump, they probably put fire or something. I said, don't give it to me, I'll make use of it. So one of the things was that we used it for competition, and one of the things was for this little big book that you can see. This is an autograph book which has been created out of old certificates. We just stuck them together and then spiral bound it and stuck photographs on it. This is going to remain with me for like I don't know how long. So ideas are everywhere. Another thing that we do is try to promote the use of items that you would either throw out, right, or they would be burnt off for purposes of art. Pegasus is an event that we organize, and if you notice here, these are old diskettes. Again, I found it in a college godown. Don't ask me what would I find over there. These diskettes have gone out of use. Nobody uses them anymore. So what did the students do? They brought them out. They broke them apart and they split it up over here. They made another item of art over here. This is a competition that we have, one of the many competitions that we have, where we tell students to utilize things which are around them to create costumes. So one of the things was that, if you notice, all of that was out of material that already exists or they had with them. So there are a lot of examples. You noticed Epi, who's been handling the camera from that time, she makes these little curios. These are out of magazine paper, right? And then she puts all small items in it. Like she was trying to figure out how to make a rose out of paper, by the way. Alright, she puts all the rubber bands and little bits of things here. This is an old DVD. I don't think Epi tried this out. Somebody else. Geeta?
That is Kalpana.
Kalpana. Alright. Amazing people here. Okay. They paint, and I remember they sold it as well, right? For a bazaar day. How much did it run for? 75 rupees. It's good business for kids. You can teach them good business sense as well. So if you utilize it during a bazaar day with many, and I think all schools have their fets and stuff like that, and tell them, okay, let's create nice items out of things that you would probably throw out. I think that's a good way to go. So that, keep shiny invites is something that my wife does. I never knew that you could do that. I don't know if you are partial to the invites which come to your house normally every day. I know I get my friend's invite. My friend invites has such a big card. I asked him, why are you spending such an amount of money for a big card? He had a child recently, so he had signed a big invite. So what did we do? We cut it out into little bits of pieces, and now we've got a stack of cards which we can write down as gift tags and give it when you're plastering it on somebody else's gift. Alright. So final point that I was trying to make. So we have a 3-tier system, first year, second year, third year. By the time the students join the second year and the third year, they've already been modeled. And what I've noticed recently is that the second years are starting to teach the juniors rather than me walking into this whole process. So they start telling, boy, keep this area clean or we will not get permission to use it later on. Right? This has to be clean. You will not get permission of that. Principal walks by, we get finished over there. Right? I know this for a fact. If they don't see it, they don't do it. And if they see it, they do it, especially the wrong things. So be careful here. Right? It's an enormous amount of responsibility when I walk into the gates. And I keep on telling my students, if you see me outside, no, I'm not a teacher, so be careful. But inside, yes, you can model whatever your actions are on me. You can always hold it against me as well. And one of the things that I've learned is, get your hands dirty. As a teacher, the more my hands are dirty and I'm along with them, the more they learn. And all these interactions that I have with my students, I learned that when you're working together, because we work together very often, we have these informal chats where we talk about these things. And there's a lot of exchange of information, and that's awesome. And finally, acknowledge the hard work. We have an event at the end of the year, Omega, where we give a prize to the best volunteer, the best artist, the best fellow who kind of worked their way through the year, right? And words are awesome. Words are powerful motivators, especially from teachers. So what do I advocate? Get your hands dirty, give them responsibility, acknowledge their hard work, and get creative with them. A lot of teachers I know are extremely creative but only in their house. They hide all the creativity only in their house. I think it's time we get it out, and I think the students will enjoy will enjoy our participation with them even more. And oh yeah, last but not least, have fun. So what do students think of me? They hate me because I drive them hard, my expectations are high, and they love me also because I drive them hard and the expectations are high. And my last thing that I always tell them, you know what, let's enjoy, we're going to have awesome fun, really good fun, but we need to enjoy responsibly. So a few of the pictures that I tell them that we are going to create memories, and I give them a lot of opportunities to create memories, like I told you. That, by the way, is a juice, just for people who, and it's a chocolate cigar, just in case you think that they're smoking. Yeah. Thank you.